welcome to this week's Rough Cut. This is Kaveri Bamzai, your host from a very rainy Delhi. And I'm going to suggest something this week that will make sure that you stay at home and in the safety of your home, you watch something that is really quite interesting. It's called Operation Safed Sagar and it's on Netflix. And I must say, I was very surprised by it because I expected it's based on the Kargil War and the Indian Air Force's role in it. I expected one more jingoistic, xenophobic series, which creates more trouble than creates peace. But I was actually pleasantly surprised. Not only is the series very well made, but it also steers clear of any communal divide, and it sticks to India and Pakistan's strategic roles in the Kargil War. It takes us behind the scenes of Pakistan for the first time to tell us what was happening in Pakistan between Nawaz Sharif and General Musharraf, and how, while the peace process was on, General Musharraf actually thought of the Kargil operation. And it talks about how the Pakistan army dressed up as Mujahideen and how they created this whole myth of the Mujahideen actually fighting instead of the actual Pakistan army. So that's one part of it. One part of it, which is a very important part of it in these very, very polarized and divisive times. The second part of it, which I thought was quite interesting, is the way it's been shot. This is the Indian Air Force. So obviously, most of the shots are in the air with the pilots based inside the MiG cockpit. And you get that sense of claustrophobia, you get that sense of these magnificent flying men in the air. You get their camaraderie on the ground. And you have some really fine young actors here playing these young flying officers, pretty much from the same age group. There's Mihir Ahuja, there's Abhay Verma, there's Taruk Raina, all magnificent. And Siddharth, who's come to Hindi series and Hindi cinema after a long time, and we're happy to have him there playing Ajay Ahuja, and you'll find out more about him as you watch the series. There's Adil Hussain, there's Sanjay Suri, all actors that really need to be used much, much more in Hindi cinema and Hindi entertainment. And the other part of it is the brilliant insight that it gives us into what was happening at that time in the political environment. There's the role of the US, there's the role of China, although I have to say that Meng Chang playing a Chinaman is really the most obvious thing you can do in Bollywood. But there's also what's happening inside Pakistan, as I said before, between Nawaz Sharif and Pervez Musharraf, what's happening in India, the pressure on Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who's clearly started a peace process despite everything that's going against him, and is really left with nothing, no option but to fight back and to capture the icy peaks of Kargil. And the collaboration between the army and the air force. There's a lovely cameo by Barun Sobti as well. That's brought out really well. But this is the first time we see the Indian Air Force really being portrayed properly. We've seen it in Fighter, but not as well as it's done here. It's really a tribute both to the Indian Air Force and to the way series has been directed, the series has been written. You get both a sense of what's happening on ground, what's happening in the geopolitics between the two nations, what's happening in the air, the fights, the capture of the Indian pilots by the Pakistan army, the conflict between the idea that these are Pakistan Army regulars and they're Pakistan Army Mujahideen, they're the Mujahideen. All that is really well done. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't call myself a war person, but I'm one of those people who enjoyed Uri and, of course, think that Hindustan Ki Kasam is still a classic. But I did enjoy this, and I think you will too. It's much better than stepping out into the rain and going to the theaters and getting caught in a traffic jam. Eat your popcorn or pakoras or whatever you wish and have your hot cup of tea and watch this series. And it's 6 episodes, all enjoyable. It's all thumbs up to Operation Safed Sagar on Netflix.